Star Wisdom, Principles of Pleiadian Spirituality by Jean Andrade. Chapter 3. Love. For the Pleiadians, love is not a word or an idea, but a way of life. Their whole culture is based upon love and justice. Their love is not some emotionally unbalanced maudlin attitude that is based on fantasy, but it is an expression of their natural attunement to cosmic creation consciousness. Having harmonized themselves with life, they act with a love that is balanced, mature, intelligent, and wise. Semyase, the Pleiadian woman who met with Billy Meyer more than 100 times, always acted lovingly and compassionately towards him. And every time Billy met Asket, the extraterrestrial from the parallel Dal universe who contacted him repeatedly when he was a young man, he felt a wave of blissful love emanate from her that would just envelop and overwhelm him. She could extend her being to him as pure love, and that would fill his heart. Please see Randolph Winters on Wendell Stevens' books for more information about Asket. The Decalogue. It is by understanding and following creational laws that one is able to truly love oneself, others, and cosmic creation consciousness itself. The Pleiadian High Council enabled Billy to receive transmissions of the creational laws from a very highly evolved group soul called Petale. This information was translated into English and published in America in 1987 under the title The Decalogue. Here is my paraphrase of the 12 laws of creation. 1. Have no authority, figures, gods, or idols except cosmic creation consciousness. 2. Honor the name of cosmic creation consciousness. 3. Make of each day a holy day. 4. Honor your connection with cosmic creation consciousness. 5. Honor cosmic creation consciousness as you would honor your parents. 6. Honor life and don't needlessly kill. 7. Respect the property and rights of others. 8. Honor the truth. 9. Speak the truth. 10. Accept your life with gratitude and don't be greedy for that which your neighbor possesses. 11. Accept the truth and don't disparage the truth. And 12. Honor and obey cosmic creation consciousness's laws and never place these laws into cults and religions. All 12 of these laws were given to Moses, but only the first 10 were incorporated into the religion of that time. And those 10 were presented as the following 10 commandments. 1. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. 2. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. 3. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. 4. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 5. Honor thy mother and thy father. 6. Thou shalt not kill. 7. Thou shalt not commit adultery. 8. Thou shalt not steal. 9. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. 10. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's goods. Notice how the laws of the former list are positive and cosmic in nature and serve to empower the individual and bring them into alignment with creation, while the laws of the latter list are negative and very worldly and serve to disempower the individual and make them frightened of some vengeful god. The Decalogue could be summarized as follows: love yourself, love others, and love cosmic creation consciousness. Be true to yourself, be true to others, and be true to cosmic creation consciousness. The Pleiadians accept life in the physical plane, and so they have no neurotic hang-ups about all the different aspects of material life, including sex and romance. Here, paraphrased in my own words, is the essence of what Semyase had said about physical and emotional love. This is Crispy speaking now. When I read the words of Semyase, which become more and more common through the rest of this book, I will include this beautiful background tone. Religious fanatics tend to imagine that sexuality is bad, immoral, and degenerate. Their foolish delusions prevent them from seeing that creation itself has mandated this type of reproduction, and that throughout the universe, sexuality has proven to be a good and positive aspect of life. It is not unspiritual or impure. Sexual reproduction is natural and normal. Mary, the mother of Emmanuel, was impregnated by Gabriel, a Pleiadian man. It is pure fantasy to believe that Emmanuel was conceived by any spiritual power or by the Holy Spirit. Gabriel fathered Yeshua, Emmanuel, because those who were governing some of the earthly human races at that time wanted him to do so. The leader of the governing group was an Ishwish, or as the earth humans called him, a god. Ishwish means king of wisdom. They needed Mary to couple with a highly advanced being like Gabriel so that they could create an adequate vehicle for the incarnation of Emmanuel, Yeshua. There were no earth humans who were evolved enough to be able to supply the right DNA for creating a body that could house such a supremely evolved soul as Emmanuel's. So they chose a Pleiadian father to mate with Mary. The Pleiadians tell us that Joseph, understandably, was not pleased with this arrangement. However, when Gabriel explained the whole situation to him, Joseph accepted it and married Mary, even though she was then pregnant with Gabriel's child, Emmanuel. The false ideas that sex is somehow sinful or evil arose when ancient religious leaders tried to control the sexuality of the primitive earth humans by telling them numerous lies about sex, in the hopes that that would curb the excessive and degenerate sexual habits prevalent then. They didn't realize how much sexual confusion and delusion that those false teachings would create for future generations. Or did they? Pleiadians love one another with all their feelings, just as do some earth humans. But Pleiadians form only monogamous marriages, and then only after thorough clarification that both partners are truly suited to each other. Therefore, our marriages last for a lifetime, and divorce is an extremely rare occurrence. Divorce as you know it is not allowed with us. Only if a partner dies or is exiled for life for some heinous crime does a marriage get dissolved and then the remaining partner allowed to remarry. Our laws regarding matrimony and intercourse have remained the same for millennia and are corresponding to those outlined in the Talmud of Emmanuel. Author's note: An English translation of this book, purported to be the only true presentation of Emmanuel, Yeshua's teachings written during his lifetime, was published in 1992. What has changed for us is that we practice a more humane form of punishment in matters of serious criminal behavior. The uniform penalty for breaking laws in these matters is lifelong exile to a penal planet where only men or only women live. There they live out their lives in isolation from the rest of our race and are denied technological comforts. Author's note: they are, however, given spiritual material to study in hopes that will enable them to truly change. Our High Council decides how many births are to be allowed in any time period so that our race is preserved while not creating a situation of overpopulation. On my home planet, Era, we have about 500 million people. Since Earth is of almost identical size as Era, you too should limit your population to approximately 500 million people. It is a natural obligation of each form of life to create descendants so the species is preserved. But it is also the obligation that the population be controlled. Pleiadian women have technical means of determining if they are pregnant within 3 days of insemination. If the pregnancy is undesired, they use a natural preparation to induce an early menstruation, which then serves to expel the ovum before it is able to develop. A spirit inhabits a fertilized egg 3 weeks after procreation. Inducing menstruation up to that time period results in only the expulsion of basic physical elements and substances from the woman, and no spirit is killed. Except in emergency cases in which a woman's life is endangered by the fetus, no aborting procedures are allowed after 3 weeks from the date of fertilization. To do so would be against natural law. When Pleiadian women do carry a baby to term, which takes 9 months, just like on Earth, then they give the birth naturally without the use of any pain medication. While Pleiadians are sexually able to procreate at 10.5 years of age, they practice continence until they are at least 70 years old. Author's note: since they have lifespans of 700 to 1200 years, that initial period of continence is, relatively speaking, quite short. During the time of continence, they concentrate on their education and spiritual studies. They do not stop learning at that age, but continue their whole life to learn and grow spiritually. Unlike the way Earth humans love one another, our way of loving one another is very pure, deep, constant, and long-lasting. Of course, in all marriages there are differences of opinions, but these do not degenerate into fights. Such differences between the two partners serves their evolution and is essential for their growth. It is an irrevocable law of evolution that there must be some differences between the man and woman so that the ensuing conflict can stimulate change and spiritual growth. One who is filled with love is also rich in wisdom, and one who is rich in wisdom is also full of love. Earth humans deceive themselves, for they do not know love. They think that feelings of possessive desire are love. You become a real human being when you realize the truth, the knowledge, and the wisdom, even if you do not use the word cosmic creation consciousness. Love in its best form is wisdom. So the human being always discovers that understanding and enlightenment are also wisdom and love, and where love rules, there also rules wisdom. If Earth humans would only love one another truly, your planet would be a paradise. Hyperspace experience. One of the ways that the Pleiadians educate their people is by giving them the direct personal experience of oneness and infinite love, so that each individual has the true knowledge born of real experience of what life is actually about. They do this by allowing their citizens to fly on a journey in one of their spacecraft as it goes into hyperspace. When a Pleiadian spacecraft traverses immense distances of millions of light years, it does so in a fraction of a second by going into a null time, null space dimension, which they call hyperspace. They use a light-emitting drive to accelerate up to the speed of light. Then, just at the moment of equaling the speed of light, they shut off the protective energy field surrounding their craft and use the resulting force of the implosion to somehow go into a dimension of no time, no space. Then, by using their advanced technology, they can instantly reappear anywhere in the universe. While in this hyperspace state of being, one experiences pure spirit. That is, one experiences oneself as bodiless and has the incredible blissful realization of one's true spiritual identity as being underlying spirit and not just a physical body. This ecstatic realization of oneness, of being one with all that is the self-realization experience so sought after by mystics throughout history. The experience of hyperspace can be extended to last 7 minutes before the beam ship has to rematerialize into the physical plane. The Pleiadians let Billy Meier have this experience that is so integral to the Pleiadian education of their young. Billy spoke at great length of this experience in his Contact Notes book, which were transliterated from German into English. Even though the transliteration was extremely difficult to understand, as the translator had given a word-by-word and not necessarily grammatical translation, I have tried to transmit a more readable paraphrase of Billy's 7-minute experience in hyperspace. At first, all I can see is a milky white mass. All the stars have merged into glowing whiteness everywhere, just like I have seen before on previous hyperleaps when the Pleiadians have taken me on journeys throughout the galaxy. But now, as the experience continues, the milky whiteness disappears and all is utter blackness. This time I am being allowed to stay in a hyperspace state for 7 minutes. Now what? Everywhere is golden light, a brilliant glowing light that is like all the suns of the universe shining together. And this wondrous light does not hurt the eyes. This is the glistening light of eternity. How utterly magnificent! Wonder of wonders. Only this eternity exists. There is no other than eternity. There is no time. Only this glorious magnificence exists. And what is this feeling? It is love, love, love. Only love exists. All is love. Oh, what peace, what love. I exist, and yet I do not exist. This is all so incredible, so full of love, so deep, so profound. Eternity is I, and I am also in eternity. I am a human being, a visitor in the eternity, Now what's this? Only light. I can see nothing but light. There is nothing but light. I don't see anything with my eyes, yet I see. And I don't hear with my ears, and yet I hear. Now I know. I am eternity. I am infinite love. I am not a human being. I am beingness. I feel. I live. Even though I do not have any of my senses, I still exist. And I exist as such peace, such love, such infinity. I am being called. Who calls for me? The light. The light is calling me. This is so wonderful that I want to remain here forever. I don't want to be a human being. I don't ever want to leave this deep love, this true existence. Now I understand who I really am. I am pure existence. This is where I belong. My old life as a human being seems so distant, like a dream. Now I feel like I am eternity itself. Material life is just a dream. This is reality. And death? Death does not exist. Spirit never dies. Now I am I. No more do I care about material life. This glorious light of love, this wonderful eternity is my home. And this home is oneness. No more do I perceive the many. Now only this great unity exists, and I am that. I don't fully understand all this. How can I be thinking of me as ever having been separate from this great wholeness? That way of thinking must have come from my life as a material being. Now I have dissolved into pure existence, into eternity, and all that I can feel is wholeness. I am simply consciousness. I am absolute beingness. I am infinite love. All is calm. All is peace. Oh, why do not people on earth understand this? Why do they search for love in foolishness and falseness? Why am I even thinking of that when I'm experiencing such blissful oneness? Ah, yes, I understand. Eternity cares for itself. It observes humans and wants them to know the truth of eternalness. But humans are so ignorant of the truth and are so misled by cult-like religions on earth. There is no deity figure. There is only love eternal. Religions are delusions that lead man away from the truth and lead to terrible destruction. Oh, why doesn't humanity want to grow spiritually and become who we really are, this eternal love? And even this level of consciousness that I am now experiencing is not the highest. This is just the last step of all spirit levels before the final merging with cosmic creation consciousness. That level of spiritual being is infinitely greater and more magnificent than the level I am now experiencing. This is the level of the last stage of perfection before union with cosmic creation consciousness. This is the step of awareness of self as truly existing in the great all-oneness. And in this stage of spiritual evolvement, one overcomes all separation, all feelings of me and mine, so that one merges at last with the source of one's being. One's consciousness is eternity calling one home. It is the call of truth, of all-fulfilling love. The creation only exists, and nothing besides cosmic creation consciousness exists. This creation is the truth of the universe. Cosmic creation consciousness is ever-evolving love and existence. This formless creation is spiritual consciousness, spiritual love, and perfected spiritual beingness. Oh, how ignorant is humanity to conceive of gods and elevate them to the level of cosmic creation consciousness. If only humanity would recognize the truth and the ever-present love of creation, then they too could experience this bliss of eternity. Humanity needs to advise themselves of this truth and use the power of their spirits to evolve into this state of blissful oneness. Each human must recognize the falseness of all cultic heresies and deities, and they must recognize the way of truth and all-fulfilling love. That alone leads to union with the magnificence of cosmic creation consciousness. Only the truth that is the real truth leads to the kingdom of eternity. The word of truth is everlasting because it is of the great all-oneness. Heaven and earth will pass away, but the words of truth will never die. Oh no, the glistening light is going away now. The light is vanishing. I don't want to be a human again. I belong in the light. The light is now golden, and now it is silver. Oh, I don't want to be here. I want to return to that place of all love and all beingness. Now I am back into being me, full of problems and burdens and sorrows and needs. Oh, this miserable life. Why have I returned? I could just cry. If only I could leave this material realm and return to that realm of light and love. Billy's experience shows how wonderful it is to know oneself as pure spirit, and what a glorious existence awaits us as we evolve into the level of spiritual oneness with cosmic creation consciousness. As one evolves spiritually, one can exist on the material plane and still maintain the awareness of one's true identity as blissful spirit. Then one lives more and more in the realm of light and love while inhabiting a physical body. Gradually, over billions of years of incarnations into the physical plane, one evolves beyond the need for a physical body. Then one graduates to the stage of life where one exists only as a light body, at first partially material and partially immaterial. Then one exists solely as a light body. At last, we return to our home where all is light and love.